What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update, and we've got a bit of news to get through today. And the first bit of news we're going to be talking about is regarding Troy Parrott, who looks like he is going on loan to MK Dons, as reported from Charlie Eccleshare of The Athletic and Mike McGrath of The Telegraph. They say Troy Parrott is heading to MK Dons on loan pending today's medical. So if he does pass today's medical, which he probably will, most likely will, he will be going to MK Dons for a season-long loan. He had some loans last season, didn't really work out for him in the same league. But do you back him to go there and get his career kick-started again?
Yeah, I think a fresh start will do him the world of good. I think being at MK Dons, who are a team who like to play the ball on the deck, like to play attractive football, maybe he can fit in better than how he was, especially at Millwall, where I really feel like he couldn't hack it, I think, at Millwall last season. So I think MK Dons hopefully will be a place for him to really develop, really get chances to show how good he can be in the final third. I just don't think he's been able to show since he's been on loan that the quality he has, the composure. He hasn't been able to get in the right positions. He's been playing out on the left. He's been playing in the attacking midfield position. So maybe now MK Dons, where they like to play nice, attractive football, he'll have those opportunities to have chances made for him, and maybe this will be the best move for him.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you're completely right in that Millwall, first of all, it was in the Championship, the Millwall loan, and second of all, they didn't play to his strengths, kind of thing, like you say, like very defensive football, very rugged football there at Millwall. Then he went to Ipswich, dropped down a league, and it did get a bit better for him. So if he maybe takes a whole season out, MK Dons, like you say, a team that gets football down on the deck and plays some proper football, maybe it can play to his strengths. So I hope he does well there. I hope he does well and comes back to Tottenham fit and firing for the following season, or for pre-season at least. But look, at the end of the day, we wish Troy Parrott the best of luck on loan at MK Dons.
Of course.
But let's move on. Let's talk about Japhet Tanganga. As we've had a report from Ali Gold today, and he says Tottenham have received an offer from Turkish side Galatasaray to take young defender Japhet Tanganga on a season-long loan. However, Spurs would prefer for the England under-21 international to head out on loan to a British club to aid his development, which is kind of similar to what I was saying on the morning stream this morning.
Yeah, I mean, I would rather he goes to a British club as well, but if he's not got that many options and Galatasaray are going to offer him first-team football, I still think that would be a good move. But I understand if they're a bit hesitant to think, first of all, will he get the opportunities at Galatasaray, and secondly, is that he'll be better off getting a club in England, even if there's less opportunities potentially, just because he'll be more suited to the league when he comes back. So I understand the point of view, but I think we'll have to wait and see, because I do think if that offer's still on the table for Galatasaray a bit later on and there's no other offers, then I think I wouldn't be surprised if it goes through.
Yeah, I don't think Japhet Tanganga is going to be a player where it'll be hard to find offers of a season-long loan. Top end of Championships, low end of Premier League. I do think a team will take a punt on him, especially one of the promoted sides potentially. So we'll have to see how this one plays out. But
I reckon it'll be difficult to find a Premier League team. I do.
Reckon?
Yeah, I think it would be. I think Championship you probably wouldn't be a problem, but I think Premier League you might.
Interesting. But anyway, let us know in the comment section below, what do you think a Premier League team would take Japhet Tanganga on loan, or do you think we would be looking more at a Championship side? Let us know in the comment section below. As we move on to the next bit of updates, and this is regarding Christian Romero. And let's start off with Ali Gold's update today, and he says progress in talks to sign Christian Romero has slowed down, and despite the Argentine being Tottenham Hotspur's main target, a decision will be made sooner rather than later over whether to push closer to Atalanta's demands or put that money towards more than one player. And then Sky Italia did report today that they said that there is a big gap between Atalanta and Tottenham Hotspur on reaching an agreement on the fee for Christian Romero. Their demands are judged as too much by Spurs, and a deal is not close. However, Damasio did report last night saying that Atalanta have started planning for life without Christian Romero. So a bit of conflicting reports there.
Well, you can plan for life without him, just in case Tottenham stump up the cash. I think that's a sensible thing to do, even if the deal's not close. I think that you got to have contingency plans, you know, because if the deal does all of a sudden get struck, you don't want to be left on your heels.
Something that Tottenham don't know too much about.
Definitely not. That's for sure. Look, this is something we were all worried about, wasn't it? This was definitely a possibility that we're all thinking hopefully it wasn't going to come to pass, but it seems again Tottenham are going to hit a stumbling block at the asking price for a player which we know we really want. We're clearly convinced of because he's our number one target, but yet again we're looking at the price that we need to pay and we're going to bulk at it, and it's just so disheartening again that Tottenham are going to fall into the same mistake and same trap. Well, I hope they don't, but it seems though there's a big possibility it might happen again, and we might well look for lower, cheaper alternatives which we're not as convinced on. Because if we were as convinced on them, we would be going for them right now. We wouldn't be going for Romero, but we are going for Romero.
At the end of the day, you know, this whole fan base, this whole Tottenham fan base has been there, has seen it before. You know, we've got the T-shirt, and it's just so annoying because we all know which way this is going, and this is not going with Christian Romero coming through the door at Hotspur Way, is it? You know what I mean?
History will tell us no. Yeah,
history will tell us no, but maybe Don Paratici can do some persuading to Daniel Levy. I mean, that's the only hope we got, really, isn't it?
Yeah, because, you know, Atalanta have their price. They're more than entitled to ask for a player who's been Serie A player of the season. They're entitled to ask for a good fee. And clearly, we would rather go for a cheaper option then pay up the fee that's needed. Every club knows you need to pay the money that's being asked if you want to get that player, unless there's a reason. For example, like when Højbjerg has 1 year left on his deal and stuff like that. Unless there's a reason why the club really do need to sell, then the club are going to ask for their asking price, and that's it. There's not going to be too much negotiation, maybe a few million, but you're not going to get them down 10 million. So, like, it's very, very frustrating from my point of view. Looking at this deal again, it's looking going to drag on, and we might again miss out on a player that we really need and want.
From Skriniar to Ruben Diaz to Christian Romero, it's all looking a bit same to me. And yeah, you're right, it is disheartening. And Atalanta don't seem to be willing to budge at all on this, and it's just
don't need to. Why would they need to?
It's pretty much just the same updates day in, day out. Someone's got to budge, and it's not going to be Atalanta. So unfortunately, I'm preparing myself to miss out on this transfer, but I just genuinely really want this transfer to get over the line. I think it could be a game changer for us next season if it does. But we'll have to see how this one plays out. But we know how Daniel Levy works, and he doesn't budge for no one, really. And Atalanta, they got no need to budge, and they're not going to budge. So we know which way this one is going. So having said all that, let's talk about the next player, and that is Kurt Zouma. Fabrizio Romano did say Kurt Zouma would be part of Tottenham's plan B if we can't get Christian Romero. And we've got an update on his move to Sevilla, as Julian Maynard, who's a tier 1 source there, says that Tottenham Hotspur are still interested in Chelsea's Kurt Zouma. The player's salary is a big dilemma for Sevilla. So it looks like there's a bit of a roadblock in the Koundé and Kurt Zouma swap deal. It looks as though Sevilla are balking at Kurt Zouma's wages at the moment.
We'll have to wait and see. I reckon now one will get done. I think even if it means Chelsea maybe paying a bit more for Zouma's wages to get it over the line. When Chelsea going for a player like Koundé and there's a deal there, the deal will get done. We know that. The deal will get done. There's no if, buts or maybes. It's just a matter of...
They don't mess around for a couple of million.
They don't mess around. Maybe Sevilla are a bit apprehensive with Zouma's wages, seeing he was probably on big wages at Chelsea. But if we know Chelsea, we know that if they're going to shave off a big chunk of the transfer fee to get Koundé through the door by giving them Zouma, then I'm sure they'd be more than willing to pay a portion of his wages to Sevilla to get over the line. So I think at the moment, maybe there's a bit of a snag, but I think it'll be ironed out, no problem. So, I don't want Zouma at Tottenham anyway. I really don't. I don't think he's a bad player, and he might even be a slight improvement on what we have. But I just don't believe that he's a big enough improvement on what we have to represent getting him through the door for big money when there's other centre backs out there who could have a bigger potential. So obviously I want Romero, but even if it's not Romero, I'd rather like a Milenkovic, who's a bit younger and has more potential than someone like Zouma, who's a Chelsea cast-off.
Yeah, I completely agree with that one. And let's move on to the last story we've got for you today regarding Dusan Vlahovic of Fiorentina. Mike McGrath said today that Vlahovic is a priority as a striker partner to Harry Kane. Fiorentina would want around £50 million for Dusan Vlahovic. He's highly rated by Parrott, and Southampton's Danny Ings was a striker being considered by Tottenham, but Parrott's arrival has widened the net of potential striker arrivals at Tottenham. And Ali Gold went on to say that Tottenham have held long-term interest in Southampton's Danny Ings, while in recent seasons they have also been monitoring Fiorentina's striker Dusan Vlahovic. So I don't think it's a deal that's anywhere near any sort of completion or any sort of even intense talks, but it's definitely a striker that I would definitely be interested in. Yes, he's only had one top season, which was last season for Fiorentina, but I can't see us spending 50 million on a striker, even to partner Harry Kane. I think it's to replace Harry Kane. I'm not buying this partnering Harry Kane business.
Yeah, it doesn't ring like Spurs of the past. It doesn't make sense that we would pay such a big money for a striker to partner Harry Kane if we're not going to stump up the cash to get our number one priority, which is a centre back. So, do I really believe we're going to spend between 40 and 50 million for a striker to partner Harry Kane? I don't buy it. I don't buy it. So unless that fee is exaggerated and it's going to be a lot lower, again, I think this is another one we're probably going to miss out on.
Yeah, unfortunately so. But look, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below if you have any thoughts regarding any of the news we have brought to you today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.